Moving to a new home can be an exciting prospect for many, as it represents new beginnings, new friends, and a chance to leave behind a painful past and embrace the present with renewed love. However, moving to an unfamiliar house that brings a curse and suffocates your soul is nothing short of horrifying. This is the story of the Tetcher family, who faced the weeping ghost. John Tetcher, a 40-year-old man, lived with his small family, his wife Elizabeth, 38, and daughters Christine, 15, and Gianna, 10, in a county of California. John had to relocate due to his new business venture and sought a residence close to his new workplace. The only suitable house he found was an old, somewhat decrepit house, but it had a prime location amidst a garden and near the river. The family moved in, with the daughters taking a room on the second floor while their parents stayed in the adjacent room. Everything went smoothly for the first week. One day, Elizabeth was home alone, preparing dinner as the girls were at school and John was at work. Suddenly, she felt an overwhelming sadness and began to hear low whispers, as if someone was murmuring in her ears. Terrified, Elizabeth initially thought her daughters were playing a prank, but upon realizing they hadn't returned from school yet, she started exploring the house. The closer she got to the basement, the clearer the sound of crying became. She grabbed a sharp tool, steeled herself, and opened the basement door. "Who's in there?" she called out, but received no answer as the crying stopped abruptly. A cold draft hit her face, even though the basement was a sealed, unventilated area. Panicking, Elizabeth ran to call her husband, but found the phone dead and felt an invisible hand touch her. Screaming, she rushed outside and ran into her daughters, recounting the terrifying experience. They all stayed outside until John returned home. Initially dismissive, John thought his wife was just exhausted, especially since nothing unusual occurred from the afternoon until the evening. However, by midnight, the crying resumed, louder and more intense, seemingly from the basement. John grabbed his pistol, and the family nervously approached the basement door. When they opened it, they saw the apparition of a woman in her mid-30s, standing and sobbing before she screamed at them, driving them all to flee outside. Taking his terrified family to the church, John explained the situation to the priest, who told them that the house was haunted by the spirit of a woman who had lost her son in the basement. The weeping ghost had driven many families away and had even killed a child from the previous family when the father insisted on staying. The ghost particularly despised children, especially boys, as they reminded her of her deceased son. The priest urged John to leave the house immediately to avoid further peril. With no hesitation, John gathered his family, leaving many belongings behind, but they escaped with their lives from the terror of the weeping ghost.